Welcome to the AudPod.
Hey, Andrew.
Hey, Justin.
Hey, guys.
What are you doing in my car?
Hey, Babs.
I just hang out here sometimes.
Well, welcome to our little immediate reaction, the road to the Robertson, which is why we're in a car and no other reason.
For no other reason other than that's where we are. Okay, game one against Saginaw was tonight.
6-4.
6-4.
Got a little...
We won.
We won.
And that is mostly the highlight. Yeah, Babs, what did you see? That was a game.
Unbiased observer.
Unbiased observer, they're just trying to force plays a little bit, but they were conservative so that they weren't going to make mistakes. So it's kind of fine, but they got to just shoot the puck a little bit more instead of trying to make those passes. But Saginaw might have discovered that you have to play the 1-3-1. So if we start seeing that happen, that could be a problem.
Do you agree that there was just basically no intensity until the third period?
Well, they were just playing smart and conservative, and they weren't trying to blow things up or trying to run away with it. You know, you get too eager. They came in very tempered.
I agree with that, and I think that was strategic, but I think it started to have diminishing returns at a certain point. It felt to me like there is a brand of Rangers hockey that we didn't see tonight. It's funny because I was watching everything under a microscope of having two people who were visiting from the U.S., not Saginaw fans, just literally people who happen to be in the Kitchener-Waterloo region.
Who love hockey.
And they love hockey, and I was kind of amped up to be like, oh yeah, hockey at the Aud, and it was just kind of all right, and we were standing to come up from the concourse, and we just heard two guys being like, doesn't really feel like a playoff game. And I without ragging on the team too much, that's kind of the vibe.
We were on CTV News last week, and I specifically said, game one of the playoffs is so exciting because the Aud is bumping, and it was not bumping.
But if you cut in just on the section when the smoke was off after a goal, it does look like you're in Europe.
Can you elaborate further?
European soccer fans letting off the flares and going crazy.
Fair. Okay.
But yeah, I think you're right about the 1-3-1. I felt like they were forcing them to the outside, and the Rangers were just kind of spamming that play, right?
Yeah.
And it wasn't working. And I'm not the type of hockey fan who's yelling shoot, but I did love when Cameron Reed just threw it at the goalie and it just happened to go in because they were due for a couple bounces. The bounce off Humphrey's skate and then he corralled it and scored on the power play. That was huge.
What a celebration. Oh.
Can we talk about the absolute miss of the goal judge to put the sirens off? And then
Ando's putting his hand up what's going on? That was on the Pridham breakaway where he went off the post very clearly. And we were last row. You're in press box. We all were like, that wasn't a goal. What's going on?
I mean, the goalkeeper or the goal scorer just got so used to Pridham on a breakaway that he just expected a goal. We all did. Yeah. I mean, he beat the goalie. He just didn't beat the post.
He just hit it was square on the post.
Oh, yeah.
I'm shocked that they weren't
I know.
Thank God the lights didn't go out.
I would
I've been to that game too.
Known to happen.
Okay, so we got two Sam O'Reilly goals. We got two Christian Humphreys goals. We got an Ando goal and a real rando
game
winner Cam Reed. Ando insurance goal. Waiting for that sponsorship.
That's true. We are waiting. Patented hold for sponsor. All right. I think realistically they need to be more physical. They need to play with a little bit more reckless abandon. I think they were measured on purpose. It felt like they were measured on purpose, but it felt like it was maybe too little of the chaos that they kind of need to create.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. PK wasn't awesome. PP was awesome.
Yeah, so absolutely.
That's where we are.
What I will say is they were very disciplined. They didn't take penalties left and right. It was very disciplined.
I mean, speaking of the penalties, the whistles were away for most of this game. Mm-hmm. They got pulled out a little bit when it kind of was a little bit too crunchy of a game all of a sudden, but...
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say that Kitchener benefited from the calls, but the bottom line is, they were calls that I think that had to be made. Like I said, unbiased observer, what did you see with the officiating?
Game one, usually they're trying to set a tone and, say, hey, this is our standard of officiating, and I think they did a good job. They were getting so annoyed on the face-off. They were really getting frustrated with the guys jumping in or a guy moving his stick early, whatever it might have been. In the 5 or 6 cases, I saw the players yapping at them. So that's something that I'm going to be okay, are they going to eventually be let's see another one of these weird penalties that you never see called for I'm spacing on the word of it now. The face-off
infraction.
Face-off infraction. Yeah.
Because what happened? There was one point when there was a draw in the Kitchener end, and the Saginaw player took his gloves off and was
that
like,
was strange.
That was really weird.
That was kind of like why are we not just dropping it at this point? Like it was kind of
it was just. They were.
Get a goal,
I think the ref was eventually getting so sick of it, so I think that could play into things later on in terms of if they might game manage a little more.
I think there's one thing that we do have to talk about. Okay, the because I know the fans are going to talk about it. The differential in shots.
Yeah.
Okay, and the goals on Kirsch. They're going to look at the stats, and they're going to look at the goals against, and they're going to look at the saves made, and they're going to have the same old thing that they have. But like at least 2 of those goals, I saw just like total defensive meltdowns in front of them. Like, would you, if any, put the goals on Kirsch tonight, or like I just saw breakdowns. Yeah. Like I saw 3 guys like basically fall back and leave a guy at the point open. Like nobody took him.
Yeah, like maybe like half the goals were definitely like off of a mislaps in coverage, but
so you can live with 2, right? But like it's like I don't want to hear this like this narrative that's being spun a little bit that that the save percentage isn't where it needs to be, because listen, they got away with a win is a win. Now we can like tighten up. We talked to some fans before the game, and they said that it seems like they play tighter in front of Schaub's. I'd like to see some of that defensive zone tightness around Kirsch, right?
I think maybe the players were listening to the AudPod a little bit too closely, because we hyped up Klepov a little too much, and they left Barabanov too open, and he became the problem. Now, we did say that Barabanov would also be a problem, but when you're got 2 guys on Klepov and nobody on Barabanov, that's a different problem.
Yeah, and I think they had a little bit more time. Like that, there was the one that basically they teed up for that slap shot goal. They had a little bit more time. There was a little bit of like panic, which I think was because they thought maybe I'm not how they thought, but I think as a fan that I didn't think it was going to be a close game. I didn't think it was going to be a runaway, but I didn't think it was going to be a close game.
Yeah, it was a lot closer than I wanted it to be.
I had fun.
Thanks, man.
It was a fun.
It was a fun game.
Fun finish.
A fun finish for sure. Yeah. So that's been game 1. We're gonna do these mini episodes throughout the playoffs. Andrew and I we're obviously not traveling for the games, but we can't make it.
Not?
I got bad news for you, buddy. I'm so sorry.
I'm just kidding, man. My wife's pregnant.
Yeah, so we're gonna. They're not all gonna be in this car, but some of them will be in this car, and some of them will be on our normal home setups and whatever. But we're gonna try and release them on the day following the playoff game, so that you guys have them. And then on Fridays, we're going to release like a super cut of all of them together. So keep your eyes out if you want to listen right for our instant reactions. No prep was done for this other than the walk to the car.
Truly the most professional podcast you've done.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. How could you not?
Yeah, I've done weirder stuff in the back of a car.
And with that, we're out. We'll see you at the Odd for game 2.